Hello everyone, welcome to Vidhai. In this video, you'll be learning about statistics. So, the contents covered in this video are the definitions of statistics, mean, median, and mode, which are the central tendencies, the relationship between mean, median, and mode, the different types of data, the types of frequency distribution, class interval, pie chart, histogram, and frequency polygon. So, statistics. What is statistics? Statistics is a branch of mathematics which deals with the collection, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of masses of data. So, if you're given lots of data, to present it in a meaningful way or a simple way, you use statistics. What is data? Data is the collection of information gathered by observations, measurements, research, or analysis. It may consist of facts, numbers, names, figures, or even description of things. Data is organized in the form of graphs, charts, or tables. Mean. There are three central tendencies: mean, median, and mode. So in this slide you'll be learning about mean. Mean is the average of numbers. It is very easy to calculate. It is the sum of numbers by the total number of terms present. So as you can see in this example, there are 6 terms present, and when you add all the 6 terms, you get their sum as 30. So the total terms are 6 and the sum of the terms is 30. So 30 divided by 6 is 5. So the mean of the terms are 5. Median. The median is the middle of the set of numbers when the numbers are arranged in ascending or descending order. So the first example, we have 7 terms which are arranged in an ascending order. So the middle term comes out as 6. So the median is 6. But in this example, there are 8 terms present. So there is not a single middle term present. So there are two middle terms. So what you would do is take the n by 2th term and then n by 2 plus 1th term and divide them by 2. So here you add 4 and 5 and divide it by 2, which gives you the median as 4.5. Mode. The mode is the most common number in a data set. So in this example, you have the terms 4, 2, 4, 3, 2, 2. As you can see, 2 is repeated 3 times. So the mode of this series is 2. The relationship between mean, median, and mode is given by the formula mode is equal to 3 median minus 2 mean. The types of data. There are two different types of data: primary data and secondary data. Primary data. These are the data that are collected in person for the first time for a specific purpose. Example, collection of colors from students in a class. When you collect different colors from the students in a class, it's, it comes under primary data. Secondary data. These are the data that are sourced from some places that has originally collected it. This kind of data has already been collected by some other persons. The statistical operation may have been performed on them already. So the data which comes from the primary data is secondary data. Example, collection of population details of all countries in the world. So the collection of population details of all countries in the world comes when you add all the individual populations of each country. The individual population of each country is done by the country itself. So it is called as the secondary data. Definition of frequency distribution. Frequency distribution. A frequency distribution is the arrangement of the given data in the form of the table showing frequency with which each variable occurs. There are two different types of frequency distribution, namely frequency distribution table for ungrouped data and frequency distribution table for grouped data. It can be graphical representation can be divided into two parts for ungrouped data and for grouped data. Examples of how ungrouped data can be represented are line graph, bar graph, pictograph, and pie chart. Group data can be represented through a histogram, frequency polygon, frequency curve, or cumulative frequency curve. For ungrouped data or discrete data, the data can only assume whole numbers and exact measurement. These are the data that cannot have a range of values. A usual way of representing this is bar graphs. Example, number of teachers in a school and the number of players in a game. So this is the pictorial representation which is called as the bar graph. So as you can see in this example, there are 8 students who like the color red. There are 6 students who like the color green, so on. It is a whole number. Group data or continuous data. A group data is any value within a certain interval. The data can take values between certain range with the highest and the lowest value. Continuous data can be tabulated in what is called as a frequency distribution. They can be graphically represented using histograms. Example, the age of persons in a village, the height and the weight of the students in your class. See here the range is taken. So it is a histogram. Class interval. The range of the variable is grouped into number of classes and each group is known as class interval. The difference between upper limit and the lower limit of the class is known as the class size. The class interval is upper limit minus lower limit. For example, if you take 10 to 20, the class interval is 20 minus 10, which is 10. Pie chart. A pie chart is a circular graph which shows the total value with its components. Pie chart is an example of a representation of for ungrouped data. The circle is divided into sectors and the area of the sectors is proportional to the information given. The area of circle represents the total value and the different sectors of the circle represent the different components. So, how to draw a pie chart? Firstly you'll draw a circle and then for each of the angles you'll use this formula. The central angle of a component is value of the component by total value into 360 degrees. So if the percentage is already given, then if you have to calculate the angle, you use this formula, percentage value of the component by 100 into 360 degree. Histogram. So histogram and frequency polygon come under the examples for group data. They are the representations of group data. Histogram. A histogram is a graph of a continuous frequency distribution. Histogram contains a set of rectangles, the base of which is the length of the class interval, and the frequency in each class interval is the area of each rectangle is proportional to the frequency in the respective class interval. And the total area of the histogram is proportional to the total frequency its height. So this is an example of this is the graphical representation of a histogram. The steps of creating a histogram are: first you will draw the axis, the the two axes, then you list the intervals from the frequency table on the horizontal axis. Use the totals from the table to set the scale on the vertical axis. Draw the bar for each interval. The bars should be touching the same width and shaded. So this would be the frequency table. According to this, you would be constructing the histogram. So frequency polygon. A frequency polygon is a line graph for graphical representation of the frequency distribution. So if you for drawing a frequency polygon, you need to first construct a histogram, then mark all the middle points of the rectangle of the histogram and then connect it with a scale. Then the line graph which you get can be called as a frequency polygon. Frequency polygon is also an example of how group data can be represented. Thank you.